Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our April the 29th lesson in the Course in Miracles Workbook for Students. Lesson 119. For morning and evening review, truth will correct all errors in my mind. To give and to receive are one in truth. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. I am God's Son whose self rests safely in the mind of God. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. I am God's Son, whose self rests safely in the mind of God. To give and to receive are one in truth. I will forgive all things today that I may learn how to accept the truth in me and come to recognize my sinlessness. To give and to receive are one in truth. So on the hour, say, truth will correct all errors in my mind. And on the half hour, to give and to receive are one in truth. Okay, let us go take a look in our text today. The need for faith. The need for faith. And I'm sitting here in my potato patch. And let's see, and also I've got a weed growing right here. I want to make sure you know what that is. There's about 4 of them coming up. One here, here, and a little one down here, probably out of your range of vision. But anyway, they're poke. And poke, a lot of people eat them. They suggest boiling them, eating the young leaves about like that, or maybe a little bigger. But they recommend parboiling them first. A lot of people, I've heard some people just eat them. And I've eaten them that way, just cook them. But boil off the water and pour it off so that you don't get those toxins in you that can make you sick. It's also known as, or its genus and species, it's Phytolacca, Decandra. So that's your pokeweed. And I also wanted to further our talk about plants that grow well in the shade. But let's take a look so you can go ahead and turn to where we're going to be reading today. Chapter 17, Forgiveness and Healing. Section 8, The Need for Faith. And we're going to read through that whole section here directly. It's not that long. But just keep in mind as you turn in there that I want to tell you, keep in mind, let me tell you about another plant. It's called American black currant, or the Crandall black currant, also known as the Clove currant and the Missouri currant. Okay, so this I'm reading to you from the I found this on ediblelandscaping.com, which I highly recommend that nursery for plants. They've developed, they only sell things that are really good for organic gardens, resistant to disease naturally rather than having to be sprayed, for instance. Out of all the apples available, they only recommend a few. There's thousands of cultivars of apples, yet the only ones they really sell probably only sell a dozen or less, maybe 6 and maybe half a dozen. But one of them I just remembered was the Arkansas Black, which is really a whole hardy apple against disease. Anyway, of the Crandall American Black, which is a Ribus odoratum. In the spring, the Crandall currant is a massive array of yellow trumpet-shaped flowers, a most striking ornamental found in the best gardens of Europe. Swallowtail butterflies flock to the blossoms. The unique taste of the shiny black fruit is pleasant. It takes a 5-foot circle to grow it, and it'll grow about 5 foot tall, and it's good in zones 4 through 7. Okay, let's go take a reading now. Remember, truth will correct all errors in my mind, and to give and to receive are one in truth. And I particularly want to bring your attention to that sentence, that first sentence in truth will correct all errors in my mind. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. And look at our answer. Our reading starts off, the need for faith. There is no problem in any situation that faith will not solve. So have faith in our lesson today. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. I'm God's son who self-rests safely in the mind of God. Okay, so back to our reading. There is no problem in any situation that faith will not solve. There is no shift in any aspect of the problem but will make solution impossible. But if you shift part of the problem elsewhere, the meaning of the problem must be lost, and the solution to the problem is inherent in the meaning. Is it not possible that all your problems have been solved, but you have removed yourself from the solution? Yet faith must be where something has been done and where you are. Yet faith must be where something has been done and where you see it done. A situation is a relationship, being the joining of thoughts. A situation is a relationship, being the joining of thoughts. If problems are perceived, it is because the thoughts are judged to be in conflict. But if the goal is truth, this is impossible. Some ideas of bodies must have entered, for minds cannot attack. He tells us that often, doesn't he, about how that only the body is a source of vulnerability and conflict and unreality, and that minds thoughts don't conflict, and that truth doesn't conflict. Paragraph 66. The thought of bodies is the sign of faithlessness, for bodies cannot solve anything, and it is their intrusion on the relationship, an error in your thoughts about the situation, which then becomes the justification for your lack of faith. You will make this error, but be not at all concerned with that. You will make this error, but don't be concerned with that. The error does not matter. Faithlessness brought to faith will never interfere with truth, but faithlessness used against truth will always destroy faith. If you lack faith, ask that it be restored where it was lost, and seek not to have it made up to you elsewhere as if you had been unjustly deprived of it. Go back to where you made the choice that was not showing faithfulness. Only what you have not given can be lacking in any situation. But remember this, the goal of holiness was set for your relationship and not by you. You did not set it because holiness cannot be seen except through faith. And your relationship was not holy because your faith in one another was so limited and little. Your faith must grow to meet the goal that has been set. That's why we want to set truth as our goal, so that now our faith can grow to let us see what we know has to be real. The goal's reality will call this forth, for you will see that peace and faith will not come separately. Faith and peace will not come separately. What situation can you be in without faith and remain faithful to each other? 68. Every situation in which you find yourself is but a means to meet the purpose set for your relationship. See it as something else, and you are faithless. Use not your faithlessness. Let it enter and look upon it calmly. Let your faithlessness enter. Let your doubts enter. But look on it calmly. But do not use it. Faithlessness is the servant of illusion, and wholly faithful to its master. Use it, and it will carry you straight to illusions. Be tempted not by what it offers you. It interferes not with the goal, but with the value of the goal to you. Accept not the illusion of peace it offers, but look upon its offering and recognize it is illusion. 69. The goal of illusion is as closely tied to faithlessness as faith to truth. If you lack faith in anyone to fulfill, and perfectly, his part in any situation dedicated in advance to truth, your dedication is divided. Wow. The goal of illusion is as closely tied to faithlessness as faith to truth. If you lack faith in anyone to fulfill and perfectly his part in any situation dedicated in advance to truth, your dedication is divided. And that's something that everyone's actually fulfilling their parts perfectly. And we just learn to just by faith accept that everyone's perfectly fulfilling their purpose. And so you have been faithless to each other and used your faithlessness against each other. No relationship is holy unless its holiness goes with it everywhere. As holiness and faith go hand in hand, so must its faith go everywhere with it. The goal's reality will call forth and accomplish every miracle needed for its fulfillment. Wow, this is how you fulfill, how you see miracles, is have faith in that the truth is there and that everyone's fulfilling their parts perfectly. That's what sets the stage for bringing forth the miracle. As holiness and faith go hand in hand, so must its faith go everywhere with it. The goal's reality will call forth and accomplish every miracle needed for its fulfillment. Nothing too small or too enormous, too weak or too compelling, but will be gently turned to its use and purpose. The universe will serve it gladly as it serves the universe. But do not interfere. We're not supposed to interfere. 70. The power set in you in whom the Holy Spirit's goal has been established is so far beyond your little conception of the infinite that you have no idea how great the strength that goes with you. And you can use this in perfect safety. Yet for all its might, so great it reaches past the stars and to the universe that lies beyond them. Your little faithlessness can make it useless if you would use the faithlessness instead. Paragraph 71. Yet think on this and learn the cause of faithlessness. You think you hold against the other what he has done to you, but what you really blame him for is what you did to him. It is not his past, but yours you hold against him. And you lack faith in him because of what you were. Yet you are as innocent of what you were as he is. What never was is causeless and is not there to interfere with truth. There is no cause for faithlessness, but there is a cause for faith. That cause has entered any situation which shares its purpose. The light of truth shines from the center of the situation and touches everyone in whom the situation's purpose calls. It calls to everyone. There is no situation that does not involve your whole relationship in every aspect and complete in every part. You can leave nothing of yourself outside it and keep the situation holy, for it shares the purpose of your whole relationship and derives its meaning from it. Paragraph 72. Enter each situation with the faith that you give to each other, or you are faithless to your own relationship. Your faith will call the others to share your purpose as the same purpose calls forth the faith in you. And you will see the means you once employed to lead you to illusions transformed to means for truth. Truth calls for faith, and faith makes room for truth. Truth calls for faith, and faith makes room for truth. When the Holy Spirit changed the purpose of your relationship by exchanging yours for his, the goal he placed there was extended to every situation in which you enter or will ever enter, and every situation was thus made free of the past, which would have made it purposeless. In the last paragraph, 73, you call for faith because of him who walks with you in every situation. You call for faith because of him who walks with you in every situation. You are no longer wholly insane, no longer alone, For loneliness in God must be a dream. You whose relationship shares the Holy Spirit's goal and set apart from loneliness because the truth has come. Let's read that again. For loneliness in God must be a dream. You whose relationship shares the Holy Spirit's goal and set apart from loneliness because the truth has come. Its call for faith is strong. Use not your faithlessness against it, for it calls you to salvation and to peace. Wow. Okay, tomorrow will be the conditions of peace. It's just amazing how, when we withdraw our faithlessness, when we quit, as long as we just keep believing that truth is true and that it's the reality of every situation, that we don't need to separate anything to find solutions. Everything's just perfect the way it is, and that we can have faith in that. That's when truth manifests itself, is how I'm seeing this. And it's the offering we offer to each other, is our faith in each other, the faith that we're perfectly in God's will. So again, our lesson today is so appropriate. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. I am God's son whose self rests safely in the mind of God. And to give and to receive are one in truth. I will forgive all things today that I may learn how to accept the truth in me and come to recognize my sinlessness. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. To give and to receive are one in truth. Thank you all so much for joining me out here in my potato patch. Till tomorrow, truth will correct all errors in my mind. To give and to receive are one in truth. Have faith in that.